So just whatever you are comfortable with. And because it's warm, we're happy it's still warm though, and it's not fall yet. We're gonna take some nice easy breaths in and out and just do a check-in on hydration and energy levels. Sometimes those are lower in hot weather as well. So just do a little bit of a body scan and see how you feel today. And just make note if you need to make any adjustments as we work today, just based on what you can notice when your eyes are closed and you're just focused a little bit inward on what your body's telling you today. And then from there, we'll take our focus to our breathing as we usually do. And we're going to keep it simple today. We're going to think about lengthening through our spine with every breath in, and then just taking a nice even breath out. So a breath in that draws the crown of your head up, and a breath out that maintains that length but has a nice even exhale. So play around with that just for a few. Good, so we'll take 2 more breaths in and out like that, holding that spinal length as much as possible. And last one. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed as we start to mobilize through our neck, or open your eyes, especially if you feel a bit dizzy as you move with closed eyes. So ear towards one shoulder, back to center, and then ear towards the other. Just getting a little bit of movement in through your neck here. Good, just last one here. And then we'll do a few slow nods of the head. So first dropping your chin down towards your chest, bringing your gaze back to center, and then bringing it slightly up to a spot maybe about 3 feet in front of you on the ceiling. Doesn't need to be directly overhead. And we'll do one more like that. Great. When you come back to center, we'll do a few shoulder checks. For now, we'll keep shoulders themselves facing forward. So no rotation through the spine as you look over one shoulder, bring it back to center, and then look over the other. Take this as slow as you need to. Again, if you feel dizzy when you move too fast, just slow it down. Good. We'll do one more in each direction coming up here. All right, so give me back ear dropping towards your shoulder on one side. Just pick a side, we'll do the other one after. Ear drops towards shoulder, arm reaches up and over. This is different for everyone. If your shoulder maybe is not loving the overhead reach, you can do a little bit more side body reach, or just getting a tiny bit of a neck stretch first and then adding in that up and over stretch. So we're getting a little bit of side flexion and mobilizing through our shoulders, lat muscles, and obliques. Good. You can always use this free hand to stabilize as well. We're going to do 2 more on this side. And 1. And then we'll do the same on the other. So nice and even on your chair to start. Ear drops towards that opposite shoulder now, reaching up and over, or a little bit more cross body if that feels better for your shoulder on this side. Good, 2 more here. And 1. All right, back to center. Depending on your level of core control, for the next one, you will either stay back on your chair if you need that support, or you're welcome to slide slightly forward if that's available to you. Hands are on your lap for support as we do forward hinge. So think back to when we had our eyes closed and we were pulling the crown of our head closer to the ceiling. So we're keeping that length now as we hinge from the hips to come forward. No particular stopping point. So if it's a small hinge, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you're hinging until you almost feel like your belly can rest on your knees. That's okay too, or anything in between. So nice slow move, really focused on spinal length here. 2 more. And one. All right. Good. If you're away from your chair back, you can stay there. If that's feeling comfortable for you, we're going to do a little bit of spinal rotation before we're finished with those type of moves. So both hands on one side of your lap, adding a little bit of guidance with that pressure from your hands to rotate side to center. We're staying on this one side and doing a few here and just gently moving through range of motion. So just warming up in this direction, not wanting to rotate any farther than feels comfortable today. Okay, so we'll just do one more here. And then coming back to center, same thing on the other side. Both hands are on one side of your lap. Rotate side to center, guiding with those hands. Good, we'll do two more here. And one. All right, let's get a little bit more arm warm up before we are ready to go. So bicep curls, let's do those, guys. You are welcome to be forward on your chair or back with full chair support, back support. And now is a good time to remind about some safety tips as well. So make sure that your wheels are locked. And we do have a bit of overhead work coming up. So if you do not have anti-tip on your chair, make sure you're somewhere safe against a wall or maybe a counter that supports the chair back for overhead work. Good, let's start to get a bit of a bigger movement going. So reaching up and back. And we're going to change the direction of our hands a little bit. So we're going to rotate and press our hands forward, palms forward, rotate and press our hands back, palms back. Just a few like that. If the rotation, you're not feeling it today, that's okay. Keep it all in the same direction, palms facing in, that's fine. Good. Two more. And one. All right. Let's do the same thing to the side. So we're going to do, let's do bent elbows to start with. You might decide to stay here. Bent elbow, arm lift, arm raise. Palms are just facing naturally in towards center at the bottom end and then down towards the floor here. Shoulders are low. So this is not our shoulders coming up by our ears. We're keeping them tracked in place. Good. Last one here. All right, let's make that potentially a little bit of a longer move. So a little bit harder just based on length of lever with long arm reach. And then from here, you can decide whether you want to change that palm direction again. Palms up as you come up, palms down as you come down. Or stay with the bent elbow raise instead if that feels better for you today. Okay, two more. And one. All right, let's do a few overhead presses and we are ready to go. If you know that both arms overhead at the same time is not a good idea for you, one at a time is fine, or both together here. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, I need a drink of water. If you do as well, grab a drink. We are going to use our band soon, so you can have it on your lap as long as it's not in the way there. So I was looking back, and it's been a while since we did one of our pyramid classes. So that's what we're going to do today. If you do not know what that means, you will shortly. Basically, it involves me counting a lot, which you know I'm not very good at doing, but we will make do together. So we're going to do the same 3 exercises 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 10 times, 5 times. That's our pyramid, up and down. So lots of repetitions. Based on that, you know, if you have access to different weights of bands, maybe you'll want a lighter weight band for exercise today. We are using some pretty big muscle groups, so you might find that you tolerate quite well a bit of a medium resistance of band, but you're welcome to change that up, or you're welcome to leave the band behind for the last bit of exercises and do them just through range of motion. So lots of options. Don't feel like you have to complete the exercises exactly the same way at the beginning of the pyramid as you do at the end. We can do some variations. So on the first 5 that we do of this set of 3 exercises, we'll do them slow and I'll talk them out, and then we'll get going and the pyramid will move along from there, okay? I wanted to add a little bit of cardio in, but it'll just be like a cardio burst. And our first one is burpees. You've seen this with me before if you've been at my class before. So our seated burpees involve reach for the floor and then a reach for the ceiling. So that's our seated burpee. So give me a few of those. You have the option of hinging if that is available to you. So a hinge to reach down, sit tall and reach up. So we'll just do 1 more of those. Good. And we're going to do more than 5 of those. I'll just do a slow count at whatever number we're at, and we'll get it done that way instead, because that one I want to be a little bit of a longer move. Our second one is going to be lat pull downs. So these ones are a relatively big muscle group. It's our side wing muscles, but our shoulders have to work pretty hard on this one too. So this is where you might find as we continue that you're going to modify the exercise. Again, this is an overhead exercise. So if you need to adjust yourself to be somewhere safer for this, please do that. So the full lat pull down is reaching up with both arms, squeezing and pulling down until that band hits you at chest level. That's not available to everyone. We can do one at eye level instead, a little easier on the shoulders, especially if you have any sort of shoulder injury you're working through. So that's another option. And if you're maybe working single side because one shoulder is sore, you'll be doing a reach up and over and then pretending that you're grabbing and squeezing, pulling something down. So that's your other option, especially if you don't have a band or you don't want to use the band for these. So that's your lat pull down. And then our chair sit back or press back is our core exercise for this set. So that one, again, we have a couple of choices. If you have less core control and need to be back on your chair, you will be pressing into your chair back and coming forward using your core muscles. So core muscles, belly button towards backbone, squeeze towards your chair back, come forward. If you're able to come away from your chair back for this exercise, I promise I'm done talking soon, then you'll be forward on your chair, sitting back towards your chair back, pulling forward using your core muscles. So those are our 2 options. We use hip flexor here as well, but we're trying to get those core muscles to do most of the work. Okay. All right. I'm ready to start counting. We're going to start at our 10s because we've already done a little bit of the exercise. So burpees, ready to go. I'm going to do a slow count and you just keep going. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, take that band if you are using it for your lat pull downs. We're doing 10 lat pull downs. Give yourself as much band as you need to between your 2 hands. Reaching up or more at eye level for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. You can set that band down as we do our chair sit backs. So that is either a press back if you're close to your chair or slightly forward. Hands can be wherever you like. Here for support, out front for a little bit of extra challenge for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, that's our 10s done. Here comes 15s, top of the pyramid, burpees to start. Ready? Let's go. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and here we go. Last one. Excellent. All right. Moving into our lat pull down. 15 of these. That's a lot. Set your shoulders. Tell your shoulders to stay set into position. Make other changes if you need to make this exercise a little more accessible for you if it gets a little much to do the overhead. We got 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 15's a lot of those. Good. Set the band down. Ready to do 15 chair sit backs or chair press backs, depending on positioning. Hands wherever you're comfortable. Here we go. Core muscles. 15, 14, long spine. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, and 1. All right, that's top of the pyramid done. We're on our way back down again. We have 10s. I won't officially cue a water break until we're done this pyramid, but if you need one, please feel free to take. I guess I don't need my band yet. We're going to do our burpees next. So let's go with a slow count of 10 of those. Here we go. Down to the floor, up to the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 more here. Excellent. All right. Now we need our bands. You'll be glad to see these lat pull downs go, I'm sure, but we are doing 10 of them for now. Shoulders are set in whatever position, with or without the band, that you need to make this comfortable, but still a workload, right? For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, shoulders away from your ears, 3, 2, and 1. All right, chair sit backs for 10 or press backs against your chair back. Here we go. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, all we have left is 5s. That's going to feel like nothing now. We'll get through that really quick here. So we're going to start with our burpees. Slow count for 5. Here we go. Reach down to the floor, up to the ceiling. Good. We got 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, grab that band. Let's get our last 5 lat pull downs done. Adjust as you need to. Shoulders stay low. Here we go. Big pull down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Band can set down. Here's our 5 chair sit backs to finish things off. Tall through your spine, core muscles working for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, first pyramid done. There are 2 pyramids that I have planned for you today. So that's the first one finished. Grab yourself a drink of water. Stretch it out a little bit if you need to. I'll cue a few stretches for you. All right, so to stretch out our lat muscles, and feel free to keep taking a drink of water or whatever else you need. Instead, let's do almost what we did at the beginning as part of our warm up. So a reach up and over with a little bit of a side flex. We're going to stay here for just a moment. Maybe you have your hand on the arm of your chair, on the base of your chair for support. If this doesn't feel nice for the shoulder, you'll be a little bit lower in your reach. I'm going to hang out here for a few if it feels comfortable and just let that muscle release just a bit. And when you've had enough, you'll come back to center and do the same on the other side. Reaching up and over, side flexing just to get that little bit of extra space for a stretch, and supporting as much as you need to with that free hand. Good. Ease your way back to center. Maybe shake out those shoulders, and I will talk to you about what I have next. So we have our second pyramid. We'll do it the same as the other one. Our 5s will be just getting used to the exercises, and then from there we'll launch into 10 of each. So I have our seated jacks for the first exercise. We do these fairly often. You have many options here as far as how high your arms move and whether they move both arms at once or one at a time. So we're looking for a little bit of an elevated heart rate as we go side arm jacks, or both together, more work. Or maybe a small lift. If your shoulders are not liking the overhead work, we've done a bit already today. So if they've had enough of that, it'll be a smaller lift, okay? All right, so that's going to be our first one. Our second one, I have a fly that's trying to join the class. Our second one is going to be a seated row. So the band is going to be out front. We're going to keep this one pretty low because we have done so much overhead work already. So like low rib cage level to pull back, shoulder blade squeeze. Oh my goodness, press forward, shoulder blade squeeze as you pull back. Just adding extra entertainment to your class today. Last one here. All right, so we're looking for the majority of the workload in that exercise to be between your 2 shoulder blades, your rhomboid muscles. And then our third one is going to be our oblique side flex. Now, no, we'll leave it as I had originally planned here. So arms are going to be down to the side. If you need to do these as separate because you need some support, you could do all on one side and then switch it up. We'll still be kind of caught up from that perspective that way, but we're going to side flex, come up, other side, side flex, come up. So that will be 1. Side flex in each direction. 2. We're looking for still that long spine and the flexion to come through kind of our mid spine area. Our core muscles doing the work, our side oblique muscles to pull us back up. So you should feel that connection through side muscles. Okay, good. So that is our 3 exercises for this pyramid. We're going to do 10 of them now. I'm going to do the slow count as I did before for our cardio, which is our seated jacks now. And here we go. Shoulders are set, one arm or both, seated jacks. Got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. All right, grab that band, get ready for your seated row. So remember the muscles that we're focusing on are shoulder blades squeezing together. The arms are kind of just along for the ride for this one. So band is staying fairly low, above lap level, but kind of between belly button and low rib cage. Shoulder blades squeeze together as those arms come back, bent elbow, and then release forward. So let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, band can go down. Here's our oblique side flex. There is no, right point to stop at for this. So don't feel like you have to go low in order to make those muscles work. So here we go for 10 per side, alternating sides. Good. So we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. Up to our 15s, top of the pyramid, getting ready with our arms for seated jacks. Here we go. We got 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. All right, here we go. Our row is next. Grab that band, tall in your seat, shoulders are back and down, band is fairly low above your lap. Shoulder blades squeeze into center. Here we go. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Great, set that band down. Finishing off the top of the pyramid with our oblique side flex If you did the 10s and you just felt like that didn't feel right, maybe it bothered your low back a little bit, you might go back to the sit backs or press backs instead. So you're welcome to do that. We're still working core, just a little bit different muscles on this one. So shoulders are set, side flex, side to center. Good, we got 12, 11, 10, really work those side core muscles, pulling up, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Good. All right, 15s are done. We are headed back down the pyramid. We are doing 10s next. So ready to do those seated jacks. Shoulders are set. Here we go. Got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Almost done. We are doing our 10 seated rows next. So shoulders are low, shoulder blades are ready to squeeze together as those elbows pull back. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Reset. Ready for our side flex for 10, or change it up to the sit backs if that feels best for you today. So here we go. Side flex, back up. Really focusing on those side core muscles. Good. We got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one here. All right, let's get those 5s done, and we are finished pyramids for today. So slow count of 5 seated jacks. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. 5 rows, grab that band, shoulders are set, arms are extended out front, nice and even through your hips, squeezing those shoulder blades to bring your arms back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Set that band down. We are going to use it one more time, so don't put it away yet. Oblique side flex, 5 of those guys. Here we go. Let's go a little bit slower just to really tune into those muscles. They've been working hard, I know, but let's really slow it down and get them working. You don't have to go any lower on your flex. You just need to take a little bit more time, especially on the way back up. So side flex, squeeze. See, I was talking and not counting. That's why I've counted so dutifully this whole time. We're going to do 2 more. And last one here. Good. We're done. You made it through 2 pyramids. Good work. Grab a drink of water again. I'm going to sneak in 1 or 2 small muscle groups before we get to stretching. Those pyramids made the class fly by, for me at least. It's almost done already. All right, we're going to do a little bit of rotator cuff work. This will probably be our last exercise or second last exercise in case I sneak something else in. We're going to go elbows glued to your side and palms facing up. If you prefer to have your hands wrapped for this one so that you don't have to hold on so much to the band, you're welcome to do that. Shoulders are set back and down. Both hands are going to evenly come out to the side and then with control come back to center. And that's perhaps the hardest part, right? Especially if you have lots of tension on that band, is to slowly return and not let the band kind of dictate how quickly your movement comes back to center. I'm done with counting for today. We're just going to do some of these. We're going to do 3 more like this. 3, elbows glued, 2, and 1. Good. We are going to do that exercise again. So we're changing things up a little bit with palms facing down. So just change your grip, palms facing down. If this is uncomfortable for you and you prefer palms up, I'm fine with you doing another set that way. That's okay too. Elbows are glued. We will move differently here. It's just different directional use of the muscles. So you will find that you might have a little bit different range of motion in this positioning. So out and in. Maybe you need to give yourself a little more slack on the band for this one. That's okay. Elbows still stay glued to your side. So our rotator cuffs work more exclusively when we take all the other pieces away. So we're keeping elbows close to our side to keep some of those other muscles from trying to help us out here. Good. 2 more. And 1. Excellent. All right, we are done with the band. We worked hard. We're going to move on to stretching now, as promised. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of a shoulder stretch because we did use our shoulders a lot today in a lot of the different exercises that we did. So we're going to start with that long forward reach. Shoulder is set down and in position. You're going to grab on at the wrist, gentle tug forward, and then a gentle tug across. Bring your arm into a cross-body move where you're not rotated through your spine and your shoulder stays low. So we're looking to keep that shoulder away from our ear for this one. You might kind of think about how that shoulder blade on the side that's stretching, we'll let it kind of release and come away off to the side just slightly. Good, and then you'll ease your way about halfway out of that stretch and walk your hand up to elbow level instead. Bend your elbow, touch it on your shoulder, and then bring that arm across again. So just changing up the stretch just a little bit. And we'll add in our next stretch here that we sometimes do. So dropping our ear towards the side where your hand is currently resting on your shoulder. And hanging out here for some nice slow breaths in and out. Great. Ease your head back to center. Unwind that arm. We're going to keep stretching on this same side. So whatever side's just been stretching, we're going to stay there. For this next one, hand is going to be either on your hip or in your back pocket for this stretch. This one is familiar to you as well if you've been to my classes. So elbow pulls back to open up through front shoulder and chest. Now I realize that depending on your chair setup that this is not easy to get your elbow back too far without maybe arm of your chair, the back of your chair getting in the way. So do just kind of work around as much as you can. We're going to change this stretch in a moment that might work a little better for some. But we're looking for front shoulder and chest to get a bit of a stretch here. Good. Okay, unwind yourself from that stretch. We're staying on the same side for one more. So same arm is going to do one of two things. It's either going to come into that same positioning that you just had it. We're going to add a little bit of rotation. Rotations are always optional. If you do not like the feeling, or you know that it's best not for your back that you do not do that stretch, don't do the rotation portion. So I'm going to take my free hand and just set it on crossbody on my lap for a little bit of guidance. And then I'm going to rotate and pull that elbow back. So I said that I'd give you another option. If your chair is in the way right now, you'll take your arm and reach it back instead. So long extended arm to reach back. That's your second option here. Hanging out here for a few breaths in and out. And then coming on back to center. Okay, so we've got a few stretches to do on that other side now. So the side that has not had any of the stretches gets all of the attention now. Forward reach, long extended arm, shoulder is set, grabbing on at the wrist, gentle traction as you pull that arm across. Keep your shoulder low. Let that shoulder blade come away from its center point just a little bit. So we're getting a stretch through our rhomboids that we used for our rowing today. Good, and then we'll ease our way about halfway out of that stretch, slide our hand up to elbow level instead, and then bend to touch your shoulder. Arm comes across again for that stretch, and ear drops towards your hand that's resting on your shoulder. Good, we'll ease our gaze back to neutral and unwind that arm. Getting ready for our front shoulder and chest stretch on this side. We'll keep it facing forward, so no rotation for this first one as you take your hand back to your back pocket or onto your hip, whichever you prefer. Elbow pulls back, opening up some space to stretch through front shoulder and chest on this side. Hang out here for some nice big breaths in and out. Good, and then we can unwind out of that one and set up for the last stretch. So there was lots of variations on the last stretch. If you liked with the hand tucked in behind and you didn't find that chair back or arm was in the way, we will go there, hand across, free hand across onto the opposite lap to help guide into rotation. Or if you just find that this dilutes the arm stretch, you're going to reach your arm back instead. The long arm reach back behind you, nice and low. Good, unwind yourself from that one. We're going to take both hands to your lap and do one of two things. If you need to stay with full back support here, you're going to go back to what we did at the beginning of class and tune into that spinal length. So breath in, getting nice and tall, breath out to release. If you are able to forward hinge and you would like to do that instead, you are welcome to either move through a bit of almost like the cat-cow. You don't have to do the cat-cow move where you're changing the curvature of your low back or of your upper back, sorry. But even just with long spinal positioning, hinging. If you find there's a spot where you really like and you want to stay there for a bit of a stretch, you're welcome to stay as well. So lots of options for whatever feels good. We're looking for a little bit of low back release. If you're hinging, possibly a little bit of release through your hips as well. Good. So we'll do one more, whatever you are choosing to do right now. And then for our breathing exercise today, we're going to be up tall with full back support. This exercise or breathing focused moment will, again, a little bit depend on your seat and how high the seat back is as well. So do be careful here. We're going to open up a little bit through the thoracic spine. So shoulder blades are going to pull slightly in towards each other. Hands can be either on your lap, on the chair base, or on the arms of your chair, depending on what you need for support here. And we're kind of just pushing our chest forward enough that we change our gaze to look slightly up towards the ceiling. Take a breath or two here. And then just come back to center and reset and see how that feels. So we want full back support for this one, just so we're not loading through our low back. And if you are getting enough flexion that you feel like you're kind of pressing into your chair back, I want you to feel safe in that positioning. So just make sure you're kind of making note of how everything feels. So chest comes forward, shoulder blades pull together slightly, and your gaze comes also slightly towards the ceiling. Maybe hang out here for 3 nice even breaths in and out if you're comfortable. And then just coming back to our neutral positioning. We're done for today. I just got our 3 big breaths in that we always do to end class. And as usual, I will stick around for a couple moments in case you want to chat or have any questions. So here we go. 3 big breaths in, starting down low, reaching for the ceiling. Good. Last one here. All right. Thanks for joining me today. Stay hydrated.
What the bands? How do you get the bands? And is there different sizes or different kinds?
Yeah, sorry, it's a little bit hard to hear you. You're asking about the different bands.
Bands. How does that go by? Does it go by like for the stretch and that? What do you need? I don't have any of the bands.
I know every company is a little bit different as far as what color means what, but yeah, it's usually pounds of pressure. But
Okay.
I find that anything, there's quite light bands, which are usually yellow, not always.
Okay.
But anything, by the time you get into like a mid-range band, a lot of them are so similar that, it just is all about hand positioning, right? So you just need enough.
Okay.
They come in big rolls, and you can get lighter, thicker, and thicker.
Okay.
You can get lots of different ones, and they sell them everywhere now. They sell them at like Walmart and places like that. Usually, in
Okay. I'll take a look then.
Individually lengths, and you can make do with things like a belt or a scarf for now. But there's no structure, right? So when we're doing an overhead reach, you're kind of stuck at that same positioning.
Yeah.
As opposed to coming a little bit more down. But yeah, if you have access to a physiotherapist, they usually sell them, sometimes give them at their office too, or at Walmart or something like that. Should Canadian Tire even, I've seen them there. Yeah.
Yoga Studios.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
You too.
Bye.
Okay, I'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye.